Hello friends, we'd argue that the T-Cross has been a silent success for Volkswagen, as although the subcompact crossover hasn't been getting much attention, 1.2 million units have been delivered. As a matter of fact, it's already sold out for the entire year even though we've just entered July. Approximately 4 years after its launch, the SUV alternative to the Polo is getting a mid-cycle update to remain fresh in a hugely challenging segment. Seen here is the flagship R-Line trim with its new grape yellow solid color, which will be offered alongside two new metallic paints, clear blue and King's Red. Changes start at the front where the 2024 T-Cross gets matrix LED headlights as standard on the Style and R-Line models and optional on the Lesser Life variant. These are visually linked through a light bar flanking the VW badge. Going forward, VW is dropping the old-school halogen headlights by making non-adaptive LED headlights standard equipment. Regardless of trim, all flavors of the T-Cross will have this silver underbody protection. The base model will have 16-inch alloys, while the fancier ones are getting a larger 17-inch set. Moving at the rear, an X motif has been applied to the taillights, and these also meet in the middle. Since we're at the back, we should mention the little crossover can haul heavier items thanks to a beefier drawbar capable of supporting 75 kilograms, 165 pounds, or 20 kilograms, 44 pounds, more than before. In addition, the total permitted weight on a bicycle carrier has increased, which is good to hear given how heavy e-bikes are. Although it's technically a facelift, the 2024 T-Cross is 27 mm, 1 inch, longer than its predecessor after reshaping the bumpers. It now measures 4,135 mm, 162.8 in, and comes with a relatively generous wheelbase of 2,563 mm, 101 in. Speaking of the interior, all versions now come with a digital instrument cluster, measuring either 8 or 10 inches depending on the trim level. Speaking of screens, the center console accommodates a freestanding display with an 8-inch diagonal on the cheaper T-Cross builds or a 9.2-inch setup if you step up to the more expensive configurations. VW says the infotainment uses the latest hardware and software. For the versions with automatic climate control, there are illuminated touch and slider controls. The folks from Wolfsburg claim they've made improvements to the perceived quality by tweaking the dashboard with soft padding, while the higher-spec T-Cross models will have decorative stitching. The cargo capacity is more than decent for a vehicle of this size, varying from 385 to 455 liters, 13.6 to 16 cubic feet, depending on the position of the rear bench. It slides by 140 mm or 5 in. Fold the 60/40 rear seats and the volume jumps to 1,281 liters, 45.2 cubic feet. For ever greater practicality, the front passenger seat can also be folded, but only on left-hand drive cars. The engine lineup includes the usual suspects, starting off with a 1.0 TSI. The turbocharged 3-cylinder mill is available with either 95 horsepower 70 kilowatts or 116 horsepower 86 kilowatts. The former works with a 5-speed manual gearbox, while the latter gets a 6-speed or an optional 7-speed dual-clutch automatic. Available strictly with the DSG, the bigger 1.5-liter, 4-cylinder engine has 150 horsepower. All three units send power exclusively to the front wheels, as it's the case with all VW Group models riding on the MQB A0 platform. VW will begin to accept orders this fall and plans to kick off deliveries in the first quarter of 2024. Meanwhile, the equivalent Skoda Kamiq will also be getting a nip and tuck later this year. Friends, that's all for today. Do not forget to subscribe to the channel so as not to miss new videos. Good luck to everyone and see you soon.